Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla gorillas in the building. Hitting y'all upside the head with this morning paper. Salute to everybody that has commented so far and has hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Double tap the screen, people. Let's do this. Let's do this like Brutus. All right? Salute to Anarchy Television. How to be free. Salute to y'all. Unleavened Evan, salute to you. Marcus Major, salute to everybody in here so far. We gonna get into this, y'all. We definitely gonna get into it. The more you find out, the more you know, right? The more you find out, the more bullshit you know is going on here, right? And of course, today, if you guys read the title, the bullshit I'm talking about is obviously having to do with the Charlie Kirk situation where he was deleted, right? And of course, the FBI is sticking to this narrative that Tyler Robinson was a lone gunman and all that good stuff. He went up on the roof, right? He assembled the weapon. Went on the roof. Wait, no, he disassembled the weapon, went on the roof, reassembled it, had to zero his sights again. I don't know how you zero a scope without firing rounds first, but let's get past that. Takes the shot, unassembles the weapon, changes clothes, all these different things. All right, this is what they want you to believe. But when you look at the ground, and you look at the people around Kirk, and you analyze their behavior, it's quite odd. And there are folks out there. In my back, y'all. Give me a Romeo, Lima, Charlie. If I'm back up in the place, y'all. Yep, of course they knocked down. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You look at the individuals. Salute to Real Eyes in the building. Salute to you, Queen. Welcome. You look at the behavior. All right, you look at the behavior of the individuals around Charlie Kirk when he was killed, and you're like, what the hell are these people doing, right? But that does not pique any of the interest from the FBI or the Utah police. They don't have any issue with the behavior of the people around Charlie Kirk. I wonder why that is. And when you look at, let's look at past assassinations in this country of prominent individuals that were going against the grain. Usually there are people, they have a bully pulpit where they're preaching a certain message. They are conveying certain things to the people. But when they start to change up, when they have an epiphany, so to speak, it seems like that's when they get taken out. And, usually, obviously, for some reason, there's always some type of governmental agency involvement, right? Where they work in concert with members of that person's group, of that person's association. Like Malcolm X, right? Malcolm X was taken out by some Muslims, some black Muslims. And they worked in concert with the FBI to take out Malcolm X. And these are members of Malcolm X's organization, right? The Nation of Islam, right? Look at Martin Luther King. Look at the people that was around him when he was shot. Jesse Jackson, that one preacher that said he had to step to the side, right? He came out with a speech and said he had to step to the side so that they could take the shot on Martin Luther. This is what they do. It's called COINTELPRO. This is a COINTELPRO situation. COINTELPRO started under J. Edgar Hoover. It was an initiative that he started to infiltrate black activist groups and break it down from the inside out. Basically, gain assets within the organization, turn them or plant individuals in the organizations to get close to a certain individual and make sure, okay, they're following, they're going with what they were supposed to go with, or if they start to buck. Sometimes these agent provocateurs, these plants or these assets that were turned by the government, they will create a scenario. They will plant seeds. They will do different things. They're chaos agents to make that individual a target, right? So that they can set something up, right? And usually, right, they don't want, the FBI can't directly attack these activists. These activists, because they're not doing anything illegal. So they have to go through other methods and means to take these people out. So they use people close to these activist leaders to help take them out. And they'll set up a patsy. Or they'll set up assets to actually take out, like in the case of Malcolm X, they use actual Nation of Islam members, right? So it was obviously to convince you, oh, there was a beef. But these weren't active Black Panther members. They were like former, or whatever the case may be. It was bullshit at the end of the day, right? So this is what happens. They work in concert with, and they set the whole shit up with JFK, right? They had the magic bullet situation, but everybody corroborated this story that lone gunman took out JFK, but with one bullet that hit him 3 or 4 different times from different angles, right? This is what they do. And it befuddles my mind to see how people are like, oh no, you just have to believe the FBI narrative. They try to convince you that the FBI narrative makes sense, but it really doesn't. It makes no sense whatsoever. The timeline doesn't add up. The ballistics don't add up. All these different things don't add up. And so this is what we're dealing with. I think I saw salute to Insane in the building. Salute to you, bro. Salute to Marcus Chandler. Salute to you. Are they members of the Fraternal Order? They might be. Salute to IFV. I saw the MLK autopsy a while ago. It's been a minute. I don't really remember every detail. Salute to Pat. Salute to you. Good morning. But think about it. And now my question is, was Charlie Kirk set up by his own people? His close friends, his mentor, the people that have known him for so long, were they instrumental? Did they line up Charlie Kirk? Well, it sure looks that way to me, according to what you see, right? This conspiracy theory that I have in my mind and other individuals have in their mind that are actually using critical thinking, and they're questioning the narrative, and they're looking at everything to see what makes sense and what doesn't. of course, we're anarchists and nut baskets, right? That we have nothing really. Salute to Marcy T in the building. Pardon my voice, y'all. Ever since the COVID-19, I've been getting sick every 2 months. Not really very badly sick. It's annoying as fuck. And I never got poked, but I did have the COVID a few times. And ever since then, it's been like, oh, okay. Before that, I never got sick. Like, I get sick once or 2-3 times a year. But now it's like every couple months, here you go. It's fucking annoying as hell. Anyway. Charlie was noticing. Absolutely. The problem with Charlie was he was tiptoeing. He was doing too much tiptoeing, right? And that led to his demise. Yeah, I never got poked. Never. But, it is what it is. I'd rather have these little sick spells every few months than have fast-acting cancer. I'd rather have that. So the bottom line is the behavior of the people around Charlie Kirk when he was shot is ridiculous. Like, it's like, okay, none of you act like you are grieving. None of you act like you were sad. You're filming yourself. Charlie Kirk gets shot. You're the cameraman, and you've known Charlie Kirk for all this time, for 10 years or whatever. Charlie Kirk gets shot. Okay, you see him get shot. You turn around and run. You know there's a shooter somewhere. You take your ass onto a slope. You climb up a wall, go up a slope, skyline yourself, and make yourself this huge target. And you start filming yourself. And then you're not even, they just shot Charlie. Oh, they just shot him. You got your sunglasses on, right? Obviously. They just shot him. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he's dead. Listen, man. So he sends this video to Candace Owens, which was stupid as fuck. It was just dumb. Marcy says, this man is an electrician, highly educated, and he take care of all of his children quite well, too. Somebody talking shit about me? Of course. Probably because I look better than them. That's just, they usually get mad about that. Yeah. So, yeah, this is what this guy does. Sends this video to Candace Owens. You guys are crazy in my opinion. Tyler shot Charlie. You can have that opinion. That's perfectly fine. I don't care about your opinion, right? I really don't. You can have that. That's perfectly fine. I don't mind. But sure, I'm crazy for looking at shit for what it is. So this guy filmed himself. Mikey McCoy casually walks off. Charlie gets shot. He walks off. And then some guy, Tyler Boyden or whatever the hell his name is, said that Mikey was calling some people back in Arizona. What? So who did Mikey McCall call? Or Mikey McCoy call? Did he call Erica? Did he call his father? Or did he call some people back in Arizona so they can cut the clips and cut this and cut that and do the live stream cuts and all that shit? Who did he call? So this cameraman goes up onto this slope. And you can see this. Other channels have broken down the videos and have showed what was caught in that video footage. Outside of the guy just, talking about, oh, Charlie's dead. Oh my God, they shot Charlie, blah, blah, blah. He turns the camera around, or turns the camera around, and you can see, okay, they're carrying Charlie to the SUV, right? But what else do you see? You see an EMS person rushing over to them, trying to hand them a trauma bag. Make sure y'all hit the like button. If you didn't need validation, then why y'all watching this feed? Good question, Richard Bernsky. Yes, I have seen the aftermath of a 30-06. Now, salute to Trigger Smart. And who I saw this video for, what brought this to my attention the first time was I Am Coach Colin. That's where I saw it first, where they actually caught footage of an EMS person trying to hand a trauma bag to the security carrying Charlie Kirk to the goddamn SUV. And what did they do? Did they take the trauma bag? Did they say, oh, thank you so much? No, they ignored the motherfucker. They ignored him and just ignored him. And then there's other angles where you see this EMS person trying to come to the aid of Charlie and he can't get to him. Marcus Chandler says, life is allowing us to see the ignorance in people that was once looked at as respectful. Hold on, I'll finish that. I'll finish. Yeah. Go look it up. Go to I Am Coach Colin. Right now, I don't have the ability to show you guys because obviously I'm driving. And I got to do these live streams when I can. But I am this much closer to getting some things set up. So, anyway, the EMS guy is trying to bring this bag, trying to get to Charlie, trying to do something. They won't allow it. You can see all this shit on video. It's crazy. These are the people that are around Charlie Kirk, his mentor, Frank Turek, Mikey McCoy, the camera guy. The camera guy who just, Charlie gets shot, there's an active shooter. Let me go to a fucking hill and high skyline myself so I can make myself a bigger target and start filming. Almost like he knew no more shots were coming. Right? It was like a stage production, right? You yell action, scene, action. The action happens. One guy walks off with the phone in his hand, Mikey McCoy. Another guy runs off to his position. It's like people are taking positions. Now, the security guard to Charlie's right, after Charlie got shot, rushes to Charlie, and Charlie goes like this, and then it's like that, right? This guy goes over there and pushes Charlie to the ground. Just pushes him, right? Basically slams Charlie to the ground. Now, I get it, right? There's a shooting. He's on one side of Charlie where he does not see blood. Maybe he doesn't know that Charlie got shot, or maybe he knows Charlie got shot, but just doesn't know where and doesn't know how bad it is because he's on the right side of Charlie. He's not seeing the blood come out probably. He's not seeing the wound, the open wound. You know, some people think it's the exit wound. Some people think it's the entry wound. It's the only wound that we see. And so he runs over and shoves Charlie to the ground, which if you're providing security for somebody and there's an active shooting and you feel like your client might be the target, you're not going to be necessarily very gentle. I have no problem with that per se. What I do have a problem with is him just shoving him to the ground and not like cradling him. Like, instead of pushing him, he should have like slammed into him and kind of like tackled him to the ground, but like in a way where, okay, when I land, I don't want him, you know, kind of like they did to Donald Trump when he got shot in the ear. Right? When he got shot in the ear. The magical ear that grew back, that like nothing happened anyway. So you have that. And then, okay, you do that. All right, cool. You secure Charlie Kirk after the shooting. You don't know necessarily how bad the damage is or whether or not he was shot or whatever. Once you realize, yo, this dude's bleeding out, I'm going to try to stop the bleeding immediately. This is what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to have EMS come over and take over because this is their job. Okay, I got to Charlie. I am performing immediate first aid on him, right? And then, okay, I don't have all the equipment I need. I don't have a trauma bag. I don't have a trauma pack. Cool. We got an EMS guy. Let's get the EMS guy over. Bada boom, bada bing right now. All the other security should be providing a perimeter, right? Create a perimeter. Pull out your weapons or whatever the case may be. It's an open carry, concealed carry campus. Pull your guns out, provide security, and then allow EMS to come in with their equipment designed for that to then administer emergency first aid. Immortal Coil says, didn't Bill Ackman tell Charlie to shut up beforehand? Oh, well, that's the way the world works. I don't know if he told him to shut up, but I do know he gave him a hard time about having certain individuals on his platform. Anyway, I'm gonna go use the head real quick, and I'll be back. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to some of the music I got. I'll be right back. Real quick. All right, I'm back. My bad. Wartime proxy, no, I don't think your comment was deleted. You're not wrong. However, as a paramedic for 20 years, there's nothing we could have done for him. He was essentially going before he hit the ground. It doesn't matter. You know better than that. If you're a paramedic, you're not qualified. Charlie Kirk security is not qualified to declare him dead. You administer emergency first aid until a more qualified person, better equipment comes along, until you get his ass to that hospital. Or until someone shows up, the paramedics can announce him dead. Conspiracy theories are just spoiler alerts. Exactly, Anarchy Television. Conspiracy or not, the fact that we distrust our instructions to this degree, institutions to this degree. Don't kick a dead horse. I don't understand what you're saying. Kicking a dead horse? What are you talking about? None of this and all of this could hold true. The fact things are so convoluted these days, it breeds these types of conspiracies. Breeds conspiracies? You guys use these words and you just use them. Breeds conspiracies or conspiracy theories. It's not our fault. The FBI isn't making any fucking sense. It's not our fault. Veterans hate Trump, as they should. They knew it was only one shot. That's what I think, simply, Sandy. I believe that they knew it was only going to be one shot. Do you know how low bail thinking it is to focus on the way someone looks? Who's focusing on the way someone looks? Marcy T. Bon Jovi says the fact that we subconsciously distrust the Israelis and the CIA enough to have these kind of ideas. What's the problem? If it makes sense, it makes sense. Like, I don't understand the problem. Yes, double tap the screen. The bottom line is this, y'all. The FBI narrative does not make sense. It's important to have this understanding, right? Because we know they have done this in the past. We know they have done this in the past, and they probably likely just did this to Charlie Kirk. And they will continue to do it in the future if we just sit back and say, oh, well, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to say nothing. No. I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. If it don't make sense, I'm going to point it out like I do with everything else on my channel, right? Like what they're doing in Venezuela, what they're getting ready to do in Venezuela, down in South America. They're getting ready to invade Venezuela. And they blew up a bunch of tiny boats for no reason, right? To convince y'all, well, you know, they're bringing drugs into America. Oh, I'm going to kill anybody bringing drugs into the country. Well, you might want to look at China. You might want to look at our own government. It's all bullshit. Now, there was EMS there. Why did they not allow EMS to try to save Charlie Kirk? Michael Simpson says they're not hitting drug boats. I don't believe they're hitting drug boats either. No, we definitely need vocals, and we appreciate your service. To be honest, we are to ask the good and bad and ugly questions and stick around for the answers. And I'm sure there's another question. Oh yeah, this is important. It's very important. Yes, Iraq 2.0. Yes, it has the largest oil reserves in the world. In the world. So this is about a regime change that's not going to work out like they wanted to. The people of Venezuela are armed to the teeth. The military is armed to the teeth. They have militias that are armed to the teeth. And they are dedicated to Maduro. So you can try to go in there and do a regime change, you're going to have problems. Latressa Montgomery, salute to you this morning. Some people still believe everything in anything Trump says. Yeah. To believe anything that the government says, anybody that stands up there, that's a part of government and talks to you is lying to your ass. They're lying to you. And if they're not lying, well, they're trying to tell the truth, and they're getting ostracized. They want to remove those people in one form or another, like Thomas Massey. That whole dog and pony show, right? Trump is trying to get Thomas Massey primaried because Thomas Massey is standing up against him, and Thomas Massey is not an AIPAC donee, right? AIPAC does not take money from AIPAC. 43B says, it's going to work out for financial sector, not Billy Bob boots on the ground. Oh, hell no. It's going to be a large loss of life fucking around in Venezuela for a number of reasons that I explained before. But the bottom line is this. Charlie Kirk's own people. I mean, they're acting like, listen, I don't need friends like that, right? When I get shot, they walk off. Yeah, well, no, Charlie just got shot. Yeah, it happened. It's done, right? And then the other guy goes to the hill and starts filming himself. Yeah, Charlie's dead. Charlie's dead. He got shot. And then you see the security refusing to take a trauma bag, refusing the EMS, like, whether they believe Charlie is dead or not, they should have did everything possible to stop the bleeding, to, maybe if he didn't have a pulse, you do compressions to get the blood pumping through the body while you plug that hole until you get him to a better place where they can pronounce him dead and have better equipment or whatever the case may be. They gave up on Charlie as soon as he was shot, right? It was done. Salute to Ana Rivera. Salute to you. Hola. Heimback says, oh, look, is this clown again? All right, let me get you out of here. You ain't never got to come back. Don't even worry about it. You ain't even got to worry about being here no more. I know this. We'll never see you again, right? But you'll probably continue to watch me. No, they never tried to save him. So, this is how this shit works. You have this huge organization, this huge grassroots organization, which was really not grassroots because it was bought and paid for by Zionist donors from the beginning. They got Charlie in there at 18 years old. He started a movement, grew a movement, and everything was all copacetic and peachy keen. Everything was all good until Charlie started to notice certain things and call certain things out. Well, while he's building this behemoth of an organization, he's taking on individuals and placing them around him. Andrew Colvin, Tyler Boyden, whatever the hell his name is, Mikey McCoy, all these guys. You're putting people around you, and many of them have ties to the U.S. military, as Candace Owens pointed out. And you trust these people, right? Obviously. You trust these people. You're sending them text messages. People in this group. And you're letting it be known, I'm going to have to pull away from the Israeli cause. Yeah. But that was after he lost another donor. So it wasn't the first donor he lost when he brought another. They were already working on taking Charlie out, in my opinion. This is just what I believe. Based on all the information that's out there, based on the logic trail that I followed. They were working on that for months. Then you got the Google searches, right? Y'all know about that, right? The Google searches, the wild Google searches. You got all that. These things are lining up to a conspiracy. These things are adding to a conspiracy, in my opinion. So yes, it looks like a conspiracy. And because we don't have all the facts and all the evidence, it's still a theory. Excuse me. It's all a theory. But the scenario that the FBI presented you about Tyler Robinson being the shooter, that's a conspiracy theory as well. Right? That's a conspiracy theory. So the FBI gave you a conspiracy theory. And then we have a conspiracy theory right here on the YouTube side. With everybody involved that's trying to figure this thing out. So this is what we got going on, y'all. Absolutely. There's been at least 5 stories he told this person or that one. Is zero proof of anything being true. Smog snow. What are you talking about? Shooter said what? What is this guy talking about? Williams Burns says these idiots are awake again. Oh, the idiots are awake. I don't know who you're talking about. But that's okay. Why do you speak like you know all the inside details? Your opinion is far-fetched. Is it? No, I'm taking all the information that's out there that you can see and hear and read. And I'm forming an opinion based around the facts that I have seen so far. Didn't he admit to it in his parents? No, he didn't admit to shit. No. He didn't admit a goddamn thing. That was an FBI lie. I speak because I choose to. Anything can be a conspiracy if you say it right. No, conspiracy is a conspiracy is a plot between 2 or more people that's in secret to hurt somebody. That's simply what a conspiracy is. It's not something that's not possible or outside of the realm of possibility. No, his parents, no. A neighbor convinced Tyler Robinson to turn himself in. That's what happened. So Tyler Robinson turned himself in. He didn't confess. Yeah, 43B says these people believe Trump got shot by an AR-15 and walked off stage. Yeah. Yet the damage to his ear is gone. Don't be cussing the Lord. Who's cussing the Lord? Are they truly facts if you are speaking of conspiracy? What the hell that question doesn't even make sense. Are they truly facts if you are speaking of conspiracy? So you take the facts that are available to you and you form an opinion around it until you have all the facts or enough facts, enough evidence to convince you that your theory is now a fact. That's how that works. Yeah. I can form an opinion and express that opinion if I so choose. You can believe what you want. Yes, the neighbor was a cop. Salute to the brother Sheldon in the building. Trump has a healing factor like Wolverine. Exactly. I thought his ear got shot off. Or he didn't get shot through the ear. Ain't nothing wrong with his goddamn ear, but here y'all go. It is what it is. Yeah, well, because see, what happened to Trump in 2025 is part of a pattern, right? So you go throughout history, you look for patterns, and they inform your thought process. You look at the patterns. Okay, here I see the same pattern. I see the same pattern. Here we go. Nikawo says, Truman Show was so awesome, though. I need to rewatch it. Yeah, Truman Show was great. I need to rewatch it as well. It's been a minute. Justice Peace Unity says, empirical evidence is a scientific term. Yes. Bon Jovi says, it's potentially a bit reductive to speak about this with too much confidence, but asking questions and seeking truth is our duty. With too much confidence? I'm confident in the evidence that I've seen. I'm confident I'm confident in this side. I'm confident in the fact that the FBI narrative does not make sense. There's a lot of holes and a lot of shit that don't line up. But the things that we do know, well, it says a certain thing. If you have EMS on site and your subject, your client, in your security, he gets shot, secure him and make sure EMS comes in and tries to do the best they can. As simple as that. Smog Snow says, ears don't heal like that, bro. It's cartilage. Piercing never go away, but the bullet wounds do. Yeah, I mean. Jitakai Marie says, adopting a unique or fringe opinion that turns into a conspiracy theory can satisfy the need to feel special or belong to a superior group that has secret knowledge. I don't know what that. Is there a reason you're saying that? Asking questions, looking for truth. There should be nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with it. We live in America, #1 country in the freedom of speech. It should be. There's nothing, asking questions, and I'm calling bullshit. This is what I believe, based on empirical data, based on a series of patterns in regards to how our government operates and treats people. The government can't arrest Charlie Kirk. There's no, but they also don't want him going against the Zionist agenda. This is what I believe. It is what it is. Take it how you want to take it. I'm not saying you should believe it. I'm telling you what I believe, and I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to help convey some common sense to y'all. Look at this. They don't want you to look at it. They try to shame you for trying to get certain answers and try to come to, hey man, what's really going on? When you try to ask questions and they try to tell you, oh no, you're evil, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, I'm not rocking with that. Justice Peace Unity says it was a 308. I have no idea what Charlie Kirk was shot with. I have no idea. I don't believe it was a 30-06. Herbie Hancock says, okay, I suppose I shouldn't believe my lying eyes. Ears heal fast. I know I lived it. Car accident. Hand took months. Terry McCauley says, I have a question. Did y'all go purchase y'all clouds yet? Not yet. I was looking for an email for that, the ranches in Alabama. I never got one. Bon Jovi says, I'm not all that familiar with all the holes in the FBI story. Can you list the main reasons you're doubtful? Well, number one, saying it was a 30-06, right? When the when the nature of how Charlie Kirk was shot and where he was shot does not line up with being shot with a 30-06 from 140 some yards. Where he was shot, right? So he was shot, they say, in the front left of his neck. But there was no exit wound. But they say, oh well, it hit his C2. This is what Turning Point and others with that type of information is saying that was found in the coroner's report or whatever the case may be. That the FBI is using to say that Charlie was shot with a 30-06 by Tyler Robinson from that specific location. Okay. Says it hit the C2 and traveled down all the way through his C7 and got lodged in the T1. When the angle at which Charlie must have been shot from does not line up with that, right? If you're shot here, but you got hit in the C2. It doesn't make sense, especially if Tyler Robbins was firing at him from a certain elevation above Charlie Kirk. In order for Charlie to have been hit in the C2 with that bullet and for it to travel down to the C7, he would have got shot in the face somewhere, not down here. If he'd got hit down here, it should have hit the C5. And it's not going to go in, go up, and go back down. Doesn't make sense. And then they say he disassembled the weapon, had the barrel in his pants, but you can see videos where he's going up to the roof and both his knees are bending. Both his knees are articulated at 90 degrees. No way a barrel could be in there. Then they say he assembled the weapon on the roof, took the shot, disassembled the weapon, but he left the screwdriver on the roof. This is what they're saying. The FBI says that Tyler Robinson left the screwdriver on the roof. They found it on the roof, had his DNA on it. But when he got to that chicken coop where he left the rifle, he put it together again. Well, how he put it together without the screwdriver? How he put it back together? And then, right? It's just a lot of shit. The real Sheldon says Trump had a Band-Aid on his ear. That shit was crazy. Mind and Massible, salute to you, bro. Absolutely, freedom ain't free. Mr. Tai Pai says, so no facts, just intuition. No, there are facts. There are facts surrounding this. That tangible, observable fact around the situation that I'm using to draw my opinion. Period. Guess anyone can be a doctor now. So you're appealing to authority. So only a doctor knows where the C2 is. Only a doctor knows that stuff. Man, you wild as hell. y'all can't get me with that nonsense. Most of the fallacies that you guys spew out don't work on me. Yeah, no scars. Realize says we the free thinkers are going to allow these people who are programmed to believe what this government tells them, and once it affects them and comes knocking on their doors, remember, oh yeah, just like during COVID. Yeah, I had the same bullshit come at me during COVID, and I was presenting receipts myself. I was presenting the receipts myself, showing y'all the information. Yeah. But now that we are aware that the social distancing was bullshit, the 6 foot was arbitrary, the mask didn't work like I told y'all, the jab could not be seen as safe and effective because it did not go through the rigorous testing and studies and experiments, and they just put it out after 9 months. I told you all that. Y'all said I was crazy back then too. Absolutely. And the government tried to convince you that anybody that went against the narrative that they were pushing about COVID were crazy conspiracy theorists. And we went through all the censorship in the world. And that was just me looking at and fact checking and doing my own research as a non-doctor, because I know how to read. I can read and I can comprehend. So I took the scattering of evidence, gathered it together, started connecting dots, and drew my own opinion from that using common sense and logic. And guess what? Yeah, I was right. I was right about a lot of that shit. Yeah. And now you know. Now you know. It was developed in the lab, COVID-19. Now you know. The mask did not work at all. As a matter of fact, it made it worse. It made people who wore a mask were more inclined at 90-something percent. 90-something percent of people that ended up in the hospital with COVID-19 always wore a mask. Like 2% never wore a mask. 2% of people that ended up in the hospital with COVID never wore a mask. I told y'all about that when they were still telling y'all to wear a fucking mask. Guess what? The same thing I'm doing now. The same thing I'm doing now. It is what it is. Someone says so Google. Whatever you want to say, buddy. Sure. So Google. Yeah. Yep. I Googled a lot of it. Then when the results came up, I went into those locations, those websites, those .govs, those .orgs, the National Institute for Health, the CDC, all those different, gathering, getting references. First I Googled, sure. And I was right. So it doesn't matter if I Googled or not, did it, is it? Oh, there are books as well. What? Oh, now you're attacking a straw man. You're moving the goalpost. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, idiot. Now you're moving the goalpost. You have to do the research in a specific way. It doesn't matter that the results of my research bore fruit. It's how I did the research. Y'all, listen, that shit ain't gonna work on me. You can't fuck with me. You have no real argument, so you're trying to come at how I did the research. Sad. The people who took it were the people spreading it. Well, yeah. That as well. That as well. Yes, there was Event 201. The same thing that I'm doing now. Taking the facts that we are aware of surrounding this case. Just like Mikey McCoy, you know how he behaved after Charlie was shot? You know how the cameraman behaved after Charlie was shot? What he did? We know that EMS was on the ground and was trying to get Charlie Kirk that much needed trauma equipment, and they weren't able to get it to him. We know these are facts. We know that Mikey McCoy's father was already talking about succession for Charlie Kirk within a few days. We know these things. We know about the text message that Candace Owens put out. We have the information, and we know that those text messages they said Tyler Robinson sent to his furry lover were manipulated and doctored by the news organizations and shown to y'all with no timestamps. And they admitted, we took these and we manipulated them. And we know those text messages read like a fucking AI generated fucking trashy novel. This is what we know. But y'all believe what you want. Where's that information about the EMS being stopped? I didn't say they were stopped. I said they were ignored and were not able to get to Charlie. That's what I said. They were not able to get to him because you had 4 security guards hovering over Charlie, and there was no way that the EMS could get to them because of the crowd. And when they were trying to take Charlie Kirk to the SUV, the EMS guy was trying to hand them a bag, and they ignored him. Don't try to twist my words up. But you can go look it up. Check out I Am Coach Colin. That channel. He's showing it. He's showing the video of it. He's showing it. It's on multiple videos, multiple angles. It is clear there was an EMS there, and they could have tried to help Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a piece of trash. The world is better without. Hey, I agree. I agree that from what I know of him, he was a piece of trash. But that's not the point here. The point is, if our government and Charlie Kirk's own organization had anything to do with it, this is a pattern of behavior from our government that has occurred over decades to multiple influential activists. And they can do it again unless we take a step back, look at it, and take heed to it and say, you know what? If they can do that to Charlie, they can do that to the next activist that really tries to make some shit happen. Angel Eye says he was shot in the neck and you can see the blood immediately start pouring out. Okay. I Am Coach Colin. That's the name of the channel. Or you can just Google it. Type it in the YouTube search. You'll find it. Angel Carmi, Angeli Carmi says, where do you get the idea that he was a piece of trash? That is a total fallacy. You clearly don't know what a fallacy is. You clearly don't know what a fallacy is. And in Angel Eyes, just because you saw blood pouring out of a wound does not mean that that was an entry wound. That's not usually how entry wounds work. Right? And I saw a video where I could clearly see, right? I could see where in that front part, I can clearly see the bullet piercing his skin from the inside out and making his skin go like that before the hole appears. So, yeah, I'm not rocking with that. Him being shot in the front. I'm not rocking with it. Yeah, I'm not rocking with that. But no one has ever debunked that part. When they try to debunk the he was shot from behind theory, they never talk about that little piece, that little detail where you could actually see the skin being pierced from the inside out, going out, pulling his skin out outward, shaped like a cone, and then the hole appears afterward. And then he starts bleeding. No one debunks that for some reason. They ignore that whole part. They just skip over that. Someone said stop talking about him. How about you don't ever come back? Yeah. Yeah, you ain't never got to worry about me again. He overdosed on fentanyl? That's funny. You can't tell from that video? I can. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for me. Don't tell me what I can't tell happens from a video. Tell yourself. Yeah, you got me fucked up. Something exploded in his shirt and his face squinted. I think his face squinted because he got shot. Yeah, don't tell me don't tell me what I can't tell. Jennifer Green says Charlie Kirk overdosed. Isn't that what they were saying about George Floyd? Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Just opinion, okay? You didn't state it like an opinion. You pontificated. You pontificated. First you said it was bullshit. Then you pontificated and told me you can't tell from a video. No, sir. You're not going to do that to me. You can't tell me what I can tell and not tell. Speak for yourself. If you can't tell from that video, then speak for your goddamn self. Make sure I hit the like button, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here, though. Y'all believe what you want. But the behavior of the people around Charlie Kirk, mad suspect. No, it didn't go back when he was hit. It went to the left, and then he got shot. He did like that, and then when his body seized up, he started going back. He went to the left first. Went to the left, did like that, and then the guard came and pushed him to the ground. Yahshua's return. Salute to you. He says the taint licking people do for Charlie Kirk shekels is for Israel. Kirk is astounding. Yeah, it's crazy. His body went sideways. Then he seized up, right? Then started to fall back, but the security shoved him to the ground. So what shot him? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't think it was Tyler Robinson, not from the position they said he was shooting from. You didn't see any blood dripping out from where, realize? His neck? It poured out. Poured out and fell on the shirt. Oh, blood definitely came out. It wasn't arterial spray, though. It was more like a gush of blood came out and fell onto his shirt, and then he fell over. They pushed him over. He got pushed over, y'all. So anyway, thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. No, when they were oh yeah, no. There was no blood. There was no blood. They probably allowed him to listen. Here's another conspiracy theory, y'all. Why was Charlie Kirk not bleeding when they were carrying him? Number one, the guy that was carrying him on the side where his wound was, he had blood all up and down his arm, right? So I believe that maybe his arm was on the neck and he was just bleeding on his arm, but it wasn't very much blood coming out, right? Salute to Slim Hussein in the building. So I don't think Charlie Kirk was bleeding very much when they were carrying him. Just enough for the dude's arm to get covered and there was no blood dropping to the ground. I think, this is my opinion. Just let me let y'all know. Based on my opinion, based on what I've seen and what I observed, my opinion is that if these guys on Charlie Kirk security, because a lot of people are chalking it up to incompetence. There's not that much incompetence in the world, right? Where you're a guy, you're not performing any first aid on him. You're not bringing EMS over to him. And then when you're carrying him over to the SUV, you're ignoring the EMS guy trying to give you a trauma bag. There's not enough incompetence in the world. All right. Anyway, I believe what happened was they pushed Charlie to the ground. They surrounded him. They're doing all these little weird things. They're not administering first aid. I think they just let him bleed out right there on the ground. That's what I believe. Yeah. I believe they allowed him to bleed out on the ground as much as possible to reduce any chance of him surviving. That's what I think. Rut RUH Raggy, salute to you for dropping that 199 super chat in the building. Salute to you, bro. I appreciate that. You said inside job, so who was he in with? Who you talking about? Orange Lil for you says exactly. Well, probably dead on scene, probably not. Who knows? You don't know. No one knows if he could have survived or not. You could get shot in the spinal column and still survive. Now, you wouldn't have very much quality of life, but if they can keep your heart beating, you might be brain dead, as a matter of fact. You can be brain dead. You know, there are people that break their necks and still survive, but they're just quadriplegic and they can't use their arms or their legs. They can only move their mouth and all that stuff. There are people that survive trauma injuries to the neck and spinal severance. You can sever your spine and still survive. Not very likely, but it can happen. And your heart can still beat. There are mechanisms in your body that will keep the heart beating, even if the communication between the brain and the rest of the body is cut off. So, what I think happened, they let him bleed out on the ground before they carried him off. So there was minimal blood, if any, coming out. And then any blood that came out went on dude's arm. That's what I believe happened. Yeah, they let him bleed out. They stood over him. They're probably pressing on him and all that other. God knows what they did. I think they let him bleed out. That's just my opinion. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, like other people are. They don't want to accuse these people. I'm not accusing them. I'm telling you what I believe happened. An accusation is, you did this, you did that. I'm not accusing them. I'm telling you what I believe they let happen. I believe they let him bleed out. They allowed his heart to pump the rest of his blood out, as much blood as possible, to reduce any chance for survival. Realize says, no disrespect. Yeah, I didn't take no disrespect from you. I don't think you. Yeah, that was kind of strange to me. The way he carried out so quickly without attempting to give him any aid right away was not normal. Exactly. Slim Hussein says, Steve Smith, you think? People can. There are people that are going to believe that. It is what it is. Yes, John Goodman. Charlie decided not to play by the rules, and he would have ended up being the next youngest president. Well, the boy was dead when he was shot. You could tell. It doesn't matter. What his body did when he was shot just told you that his spine was severed. It doesn't mean that he's dead. You don't get to decide that until a qualified person decides that. You administer first aid, period. Doesn't matter if you believe they're dead or not. You allow that EMS to come over and do their fucking job. That's what you do. Salute to the beautiful Desiree Oliver in the building. Salute to you, Queen. There's my beautiful Wi-Fi wife in the building. Salute to you. Steve Smith says, making shit up to feel bright. Okay. Making shit up to feel bright. Sure, you can have that. Do you have anything to dispute what I'm saying? Or are you just saying stupid shit? Oh, not me, the chat? Oh, okay. Just checking. Jesse Chapman says they didn't help him at all. They was busy hiding the cameras. They did all kind of silly, stupid ass shit that don't make no sense. Thank you, David Hills. And thank you, Orange Lily for you. But he wasn't talking to me, I don't believe. Yes. John Goodman says, I think most people were afraid another bullet was going to fly. So, really? Like the cameraman that ran a couple yards away and hopped up on a wall and stood on top of a goddamn an incline and stood there with a selfie, stood there filming himself, skylining himself, making himself a huge target. You mean like that guy? Okay. And he doesn't have to have Trump level security for them to follow the proper protocol and allow EMS, who was there, to save his life. So now you want to come in here and try to cape for his security for what reason? For what reason? What's the point of having it? What's the point of having EMS and security on site if they're not going to do their job? I don't think anything can be hidden anymore because so many people have cameras. You mean the cameras that you get very little footage of and are trashy and pixelated? You mean the cameras that Charlie Kirk's buddy went and took the SD cards out of, the 4K cameras? Yeah, and took cameras down? You mean that like that? Believe what you want. Bon Jovi says the irony is he was being asked questions about mass shootings. Well, you know. Kelvin Black, salute to you. Yeshua's return says there is no argument. Charlie was a POS. He sold his soul to Israel. The whole thing was fake WWE like Trump burger, ketchup eargate. It might be very it's possible. I doubt it. I think he's actually dead. He did not get shot for his speech. I don't believe that. Ain't no end of story. The beautiful Desiree Oliver, my Wi-Fi wife, says, are you not feeling well? I can hear congestion in your voice. Yes. I feel good, but there is congestion because, you know, I'm a little under the weather. And I don't usually get sick. Like I said, before COVID, I never got sick. Not really. I would get sick like once every 2 or 3 years during one season. Now, since COVID, I have been getting sick more often. You're not badly sick, but, you know, just annoying little head colds. And I never got the jab, but I did have COVID a few times. I think COVID, once you have it, you don't get rid of it. I think it surfaces at certain points in time, and then it just goes dormant again. That's what I think COVID is. The bioweapon that they released onto the people. Yeah. You know, the gain of research bioweapon? Yeah, that one. That they released into the public. The NIH funded. The NIH funded gain of research virus that they were studying in Wuhan, and it got released. That one. So yeah, I'm a little congested. Steve Smith says y'all want a conspiracy. What does that mean? What does that mean? Y'all want a conspiracy? What is that? Is that an argument? What is that supposed to mean? Yes, Desiree Oliver, I believe it's a dormant virus. It doesn't go away. It's endemic to the human body. Right. Slim Hussein says Steve Smith in a surveillance state being assassinated at a large gathering with hella security is impossible for an average person to do. Yeah. VPAC. I thought about that, but Drink Smooth. Yeah, I be taking my stuff. It's all good. Yeah. Steve Smith says it's not a conspiracy. Okay. Anyway, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Yeah, y'all hit me up, man. Y'all, my email is freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. Hit me up if you got any information, if you want me to check something out. Salute to Stops Purging, said that sent a gamer ghost. Salute to you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Steve Smith's, well, I don't know why you keep repeating that. Don't eat meat. What are you, crazy? Thank you, beautiful Desiree Oliver. Why would I not eat meat? That's crazy. No, I'm not going to not eat meat, Lily. I am a meat eater. Meat is good for a cold. What I'm about to do, I'm about to go eat me some, I'm going to eat me some beef ramen and clear my sinuses. Yeah, I'm a meat eater. Yeah. I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian. No. I feel like I'd feel sicker. Oh, salute to, did you send another gamer ghost? Salute to you, man. I'm not eating vegan. I'm not gonna veganize myself. The last time I went vegan, I gained weight, not in a good way. I became pre-diabetic. No, I'm good. No, no. No, I didn't get the vax, but I did contract the bioweapon. Majorner's Wrath says, when I got COVID in 2019 of September, before it actually broke out in America, they gave me a Z-Pack, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. Okay. I'm going to just ride it out, man. Orange Lily for you says she'll cook for me. You going to cook me some vegan stuff? Yeah, that's what I believe, Todd Wilkins. We all have COVID in our bodies. Yeshua Return say I had the shit for 2 weeks. It absolutely sucked. Oh yeah, I drink so much water, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm gonna just ride it out like I always do. And I feel much better. Like when I get my checkups, I'm good to go. Yeah, it did leave some people unable to taste and smell. What's the standing behind your car looking in? Oh, I don't know. Desiree Oliver. Well, you know, Desiree, you can cook for me as well. I'm open. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Majonier says I am COVID-19 vaccination ineligible, as in 100%. I am too. I'm immune. It's just it pops up. Oh yeah, we got some Jamaican. That's a great point. All right, Desiree, I got you. No doubt. I got you, Desiree. Where am I from? I'm from LA originally, Los Angeles. No one's immune? Well, I disagree with that. You need a room. I don't need no roommate. Nope, no roommates. Slim Hussein, Steve Smith, well, yeah, I have antibodies. That's what it's an immunity. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get it. It doesn't mean that it's not going to make you sick for a little bit. It just means that your immune system is attuned to fighting it. That's what it means. Resistance, immune, whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to say. Michael, what did he say? Bro, how do you share a video? Oh, Freedom's March 80. Freedom's March 80 at gmail.com if you want to send me anything. Freedom's March 80 at gmail.com. It's very simple. I haven't gotten the flu shot since I was in the Army. And I got the flu shot and I got very, very sick. Thank you, beautiful Desiree Oliver. Thank you so much. So damn beautiful. How do I? She just shared it. Desiree Oliver just shared my email. Yeah, none of my kids have ever been injected with anything. Just so y'all know. All 6 of them. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for hitting the like button. And I appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you to my moderators, Slim Hussein, the beautiful Desiree Oliver, my Wi-Fi wife. We got, Marcy T was up in here. All these, Yeshua's Return. All y'all, thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for the commenters as well. Thank you to the chat. Todd Wilkins, Majornier, Funksin House, Terry McCauley, salute to y'all. Terry McCauley, I think Candace Owens is already looking out for herself as much as she can. I mean, there's only so much looking out for yourself you can do. right? Unless you become a hermit and don't go nowhere for the rest of your life. Anyway, salute to you. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all can reach me at freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. If you have anything you want to send me, any information, it's right there. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace.